Hey, I'm Adam Jusko from ProudMoney.com, and in this video we are going to do what I call the set it and forget it 3 credit card lineup for the Clueless. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to this YouTube channel right here if you have not already, and if you have already, I thank you for doing so. So every once in a while on a discussion board, I'll see someone come in and talk about the fact that they have had their credit card for 5 years, 7 years, whatever. They got it from their local bank, gives them 1% cash back, and now they've seen a new offer that would give them 1.25% cash back and a $100 bonus. And I think, well, that new card stinks too. This is not what you should be looking at, but to them it feels like an upgrade. So I thought I'm going to do a video for potentially that person, or for people that might be helping that person to find a new credit card or credit cards. And so I wanted this to be a set it and forget it 3 credit card lineup that would make most people happy if they didn't know a whole lot about credit card rewards and didn't want to know a whole lot more than they already knew. Anyway, this would be cards that you would hold for the long term. You wouldn't have to think about a million different categories, all that kind of stuff, but you would feel like you were getting pretty good rewards. And with that in mind, I should say that we are talking about people that do have some credit history and could get their hands on probably the better credit cards out there on the market. We're not talking about complete newbies. And then number 2, we are going to look at a cashback strategy, because for most people, if they don't care much about their credit cards and they haven't been paying any attention, the last thing they want is to be suddenly thrust into a card that is going to be, frequent flyer miles or hotel points or some sort of flexible point program that they aren't going to be able to wrap their head around. So the obvious place to start if someone has had a lousy credit card up until this point would be to make sure that they are getting sort of the maximum that they could get across the board on all of their purchases, starting with a flat cashback credit card. And the one I would choose is the PayPal Cashback Mastercard, a card giving 2% flat cashback on everything that you buy. No categories to consider. You can redeem at any level once you have earned rewards. It has no foreign transaction fees, so you could use it outside of the country without paying anything extra. The only potential catch with this card, I guess, is the fact that the money that you earn initially is going to go into your PayPal account. For a lot of people, that's not going to matter, because a lot of people have PayPal accounts. Even if they are, not someone who's super, technologically advanced, PayPal is pretty universal at this point. So I think for a lot of people that would not be a big hurdle. But if they did not want to have the PayPal account be part of the equation and not deal with that, well, then I would say there are other 2% cards on the market that they could consider. The Citi Double Cash, an obvious one, 2% across the board on that card. It does have a $25 minimum in order to redeem. It does have a 3% foreign transaction fee, so a little worse actually in terms of some of those ways. But if you wanted a card that was maybe a little easier to understand, that might be the one. And then there are also the Fidelity Visa, the SoFi credit card, the recent TD Bank Double Up card that was introduced. All of those are going to give 2% cash back, but those also have sort of strings attached. Fidelity got to go into the money has to go into your Fidelity account. The TD Bank, it has to go into a TD Bank account. SoFi, same thing, it has to go into a SoFi account. So anyway, 2% across the board would be the place to start. PayPal Cashback Mastercard would be my number 1 choice for most people. Probably Citi Double Cash would be my 2nd choice if they don't want to deal with PayPal. All right, so if our clueless person, and clueless is not a very nice thing to call someone, so if our person that doesn't care very much about credit cards gets that 2% card, for many people, they're already doing way better than they were before, and maybe they're even happy to stop right there. But if they're willing to indulge me and maybe think a little bit more about the cards they use and pull different cards out for different situations, what would be the number 2 card? In my mind, you would look at groceries, because groceries is probably the most universal category where most people are going to have a significant amount of their credit card spending. And grocery store purchases is a place where American Express shines. The first card I would probably steer someone to is the Blue Cash Everyday card, a no annual fee card that gives you 3% back on your grocery store purchases. It also has some 2% categories, 1% on other things. We only care about the 3% category in this case, because this person would be getting 2% on everything with that first card we talked about. So 3% on those grocery store purchases on up to $6,000 at US supermarkets. It does not include things like Walmart, Target, etc. So we're kind of talking about your everyday groceries here. But anyway, if you got this card, you'd have 3% on groceries, 2% on everything else. You could also earn a bonus on this card that, as I make this video, is $250 if you meet the spend requirement, which I believe is $1,000 in the first 3 months of having it. Now, if this person, maybe you, was willing to get a little crazy, I would say instead of that Blue Cash every day, how about the Blue Cash Preferred? How about we look at that one? It's got 6% on those grocery store purchases, 6% on streaming services, 3% on gas, 3% on transit. However, it does have a $95 annual fee. And so for some people, they're going, I don't want to pay an annual fee. But this is one of those cards where it is easy to see that the annual fee could be worth it. I've said in other videos, if you are spending over $3,000 per year on groceries, this card, even with the $95 annual fee, is going to be better than the Blue Cash every day. And that's even without considering the 6% on streaming services, the 3% on gas, the 3% on transit. And there's even a bonus opportunity on this card that I believe you can get $300 right now as I am making the video. So a very nice card across the board here with all kinds of categories. If you had those two cards, 2% on everything, but then 6% on groceries, 6% on streaming, 3% on gas, 3% on transit, you're looking at a pretty good two-card lineup. Now, for some people, even having those two cards right there might be putting them into the discomfort zone. They might say, I'm not trying to get too wild here. I'm not trying to change my whole life. I think I'm good. But if they are the adventurous type, if you are the adventurous type, well, getting a third card could really round out the rewards that you are earning. If you are someone that in that two-card lineup chose the no annual fee Blue Cash every day and were not willing to pay that annual fee, then the third card I would suggest would be the Wells Fargo Propel American Express card, another no annual fee card that has a lot of 3% categories, 3% on dining, 3% on gas, 3% on a lot of travel purchases, 3% on streaming services. So if you got that card on top of the other two cards we talked about, you get 2% as a base everywhere. Then you'd have 3% on groceries, 3% on dining, 3% on travel, 3% on streaming, 3% on gas, 3% in a whole lot of places. And then you also could even pick up a new card holder bonus with this card. Now, as I make this video, there are some rumblings that maybe the Wells Fargo Propel card is going away, but I am going to just disregard those for now and say that that would be the third card if you had chosen that Blue Cash every day as your number 2 card to get that grocery reward. Now, if this person, maybe you, had chosen the Blue Cash Preferred from American Express as that number 2 card, well, then the Wells Fargo card would make less sense as the third card because there is some overlap in rewards between those two cards. In that case, if you had that PayPal card and then you were paying the $95 annual fee to get those enhanced categories on the Blue Cash Preferred, well, then for a third card, you'd want to hone in on one category, probably in particular, where you know you spend a good amount with your credit card. For many people, that is dining, whether that's going in restaurants or getting takeout or delivery. The card that you would probably want to look at first, if that was the case, would be the US Bank Altitude Go Visa, which would give you 4% back on your dining purchases. It has some other enhanced categories as well, but none that are going to give you anything more than what you are already getting with the cards that we have talked about. So it's that 4% on dining that you would be going after with that card, and then this card also has a sign-up bonus opportunity. Or maybe you would choose the Chase Freedom Flex that would give you 3% on your dining purchases, and that would also give you 5% back in a purchasing category that changes every calendar quarter. So you get 5% cash back on whatever Chase deems to be the categories for that quarter. Every 3 months they are going to change, and you're going to get 5% on, sometimes it's gas, sometimes it's home improvement stores, sometimes it's a particular store where they're giving 5%. Whatever it is, you get 5% in. Plus, this card gives 5% back on travel when you book through the Chase Ultimate Rewards portal. Also has a nice sign-up bonus for new card holders, no annual fee. Or maybe for that third card, you would choose the Capital One Saver One card, a no annual fee card that gives 3% back on dining and 3% back on entertainment. Entertainment can include things like movie theaters, live theater, amusement parks, tourist attractions, bowling alleys, all kinds of stuff falls on under entertainment. So if you liked the looks of that 3% on dining, 3% on entertainment, there is a new card holder bonus that you could get with this card. This also could be a good complement to those first two cards. Now, dining out isn't a big deal to everybody, so perhaps the third card you would choose would be the US Bank Cash Plus Visa that gives you two 5% cash back categories from a list that US Bank provides, you could get 5% back in things like cell phone service, utilities, gym memberships, furniture stores, a lot of other stuff as well. And you can even change between those 5% categories every calendar quarter if you know you have a big purchase in one of those in particular. So that card also can be a nice complement to the other cards. You've got a sign-up bonus here with this card. It is a Visa card, where most of the cards, other than the other US bank card we talked about, are Mastercard or American Express. So if for some reason that mattered to you, this also could be a good third choice. Another possible choice for card number 3, the Bank of America Cash Rewards card that gives 3% cash back in a category of your choosing from a list that Bank of America provides. So you could get 3% back in things like gas or travel or home furnishings. One that I always single out here is the online shopping. 3% back on most of your online shopping purchases is something that is pretty attractive. Makes this card a good complement to the other cards we've talked about. No annual fee. You've got a nice potential sign-up bonus for new card holders here as well. And then finally, I'll mention the Venmo Visa, which gives you 3% back in whatever purchasing category you spend the most in each month. So they have some preset categories. Whichever one of them you spend the most in with that card during the month, you're going to get 3% cash back for it. However, that money goes into your Venmo account. So if you don't have a Venmo account, if you're not even sure what Venmo is, well then maybe this would not be the right choice. But if Venmo is part of your life, this also could be a good complementary card with the others that we've talked about. So that is it. Now obviously, if the person we're talking about suddenly changed everything about who they were and they decided they wanted to hold 10 different cards, we could optimize for every single thing they do and figure out maybe a better card lineup. But the goal here, keep it simple, keep it to a reasonable number of cards so they don't have to think too hard about it. Make the rewards themselves simple, easy redemptions. Cash is easily understandable versus travel rewards, all that kind of stuff. Those are the considerations so that we don't scare the person off and they go running to that 1.25% cashback card and won't talk to us anymore. So that is it for this video. If you have questions, comments, what your 3-card lineup might be, I'd love to hear those in that comments section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching. And as always, please go to proudmoney.com, where we do credit card reviews, we talk personal finance, we talk deals, and all sorts of other fun stuff too. Thanks for watching. Bye.